a team for us, mate?
Would you keep the embargo if I told you?
Yep.
Was it?
Okay, you can leave.
He falls. No, I don't. No, we'll probably work it out later tonight.
You haven't worked it out?
No, we haven't met yet. No, selectors haven't.
This is tough of a call. It had to be made for a long time,
Yeah, I think so. Joshy Hazelwood obviously comes back in the fold. Looks like he got through that session fine, so he should be on the selection table. It's going to be tough. Someone's going to miss out. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to go, but we'll see.
Have you seen that England have named their 11?
I did. Cole just told me. No huge surprises. I think Mark Wood was the one that you thought might have played, but pretty experienced lineup.
So are they being enormously optimistic, picking Broad 4 years later to see if he can do the same thing to Davey again?
Potentially. I don't think there'll be any surprises. They're guys that we've played a lot, and Davey's, I'm sure, been thinking about Broad a lot over the last 4 years, and if he got another chance, how he's going to play against him. So, didn't go Davey's way last time, but I think we'll see a different Davey this time.
So you weren't surprised that they left Wood out? I mean, just going off what that wicket looks like?
Honestly, I didn't know which way they were going to go. They left out Broad and Anderson in Gabba a couple of years ago, and that obviously caused a bit of a hoo-ha, so didn't really know which way they were going to go.
Does their attack risk being a bit same without the pace of Wood?
Don't know. It's for them to worry about, really. Don't know.
What are your thoughts on the surface? So you haven't quite a close look at it earlier?
Yeah, it looks relatively dry. It's spun here in 2019, different time of year, but that looks like it's pretty dry. It's, I think, good weather the next couple of days. Probably a little bit drier than I thought it might be.
Do you think reverse might be a factor, or do you think the outfield's a bit too much for that?
Don't know. I was thinking the same thing. The square looks pretty good. Again, in 2019, end of the summer, all the square was basically bare, so might be a factor. Hopefully a bit of spin as well.
Just the role that Nathan Lyon can play. There's so much talk of the fast bowlers who won't play, and about how England bat these days. Just the role he can play with the number of wickets he's taken and the experience he has.
Yeah, he's got a huge role to play. No doubt he'll be one that the opposition will try and take on a bit more, but he's played 100 odd tests, and before every series it always seems to be a game plan that the opposition's going to take him on, and he's always just a bloody good bowler. So we know what we're going to expect from Nathan. It's going to be quality, and last time I think he took 6 for here on day 5, and if there's any conditions in his favour, he's going to find them.
Just teams always say, look, we only focus on what we'll do. We don't really bother so much about what the opposition is doing. But when you have a team for doing something so different as England, how much does that come into play? And do you change what you're doing midway through the game, or can you still stick to just what you are focusing on?
I think the aim's always to stick to what you do well, and when the opposition puts pressure on you, where you get caught is, I think, when you go away from your game plan. So I think you will see maybe some slightly different plans or some different fields, but I don't think you'll see a drastically different approach from our bowlers or batters. What makes us good bowlers, I think that's going to hold true. And if we think we're going to get LBWs or caught in slips, we're going to leave our slips in. Other fielders around that might change.
There's been a lot of great teams and very significant captains sort of come over here and not bring the urn back. Do you reflect on that? Do you talk to people like Steve Waugh or Ricky or those sorts of guys?
Over the years I have, but no, not in particular. I think, if anything, it just shows it's a really tough place to win over here. It's conditions totally different to what we've grown up all playing. Just like when touring teams come to Australia, it's really hard. Winning away from home, wherever it is hard. So that's the challenge ahead of our group at the moment. We're excited. 2019 felt like it was a little bit bittersweet. We left something out there. So it's always nice coming over here with a bit of experience, and everyone's kind of spoken about this tour and knows what to expect.
It sounds like you're saying there that that experience in that last test of 2019, that might be a bit of a spur for for here and after what happened, because you were so close, weren't you?
Yeah, that's it. Even after the other day, there's a bit of talk that we've ticked off World Test Championship, a T20 World Cup, a One-Day World Cup, but we still don't feel like we've ticked off that away Ashes series, and that's kind of the aim for our group this time.
Pat, 2019, obviously England were a very different setup, but they did pick someone at the top of the order, Jason Roy, off the back of a 50-over World Cup with a pretty clear commission to go hard at you. Does that memory of you guys being able to deal with him pretty effectively, is that the sort of thing you'd like to hopefully be able to do again here against guys going hard at you?
Yeah, I hope so. They're obviously a very good white ball team, England, but Test cricket's different. The ball moves around a little bit differently. You can't always just bat exactly like you would in a one-day game, and I think that's our strength of our bowling unit. Is if there's anything in the wicket, we're going to find it. We're going to be relentless in our areas. Nathan Lyon's a quality off spinner, so hopefully that's a good memory to draw on.
And I suppose you've had plenty of room for like sort of pre-planning, analysis, all that kind of stuff. Has that sort of reiterated to you that a good ball is a good ball, as in it's harder for them to hit that to the boundary or score off it just like any other batters?
Yeah, that's it. I think the more you get into the minutiae, you end up with a simplified plan. So that's what we're going to be hammering home, and I don't think you'll see too much different from our team. Our good stuff still, I think, our best, or our strongest suit, and that'll be the aim.
It was pretty.
Seeing a bit of an evolution in fast bowling, their attacks are quite senior, and our guys are getting middle 30s. Is it sports science that's keeping fast bowlers in the game longer? Is it fragmentation of the formats? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Not entirely. Sports science must play a role. You're seeing guys going to the kind of mid-30s. I know. I look back a decade ago when I had those injuries. A lot of the physios were talking about this might cost you a few years here, but this means when you get to 30, your career isn't over. Hopefully you can, you've got no pre-existing injuries. So I think, the way, even schedule-wise, we're managing test bowlers maybe a bit better than we have done in the past. And maybe we're just, blessed at the moment that we've got some really good test bowlers that are still hanging around in this current era.
What is the Ashes schedule for 2031? Do they think you'll be here for?
Have they? Will you be here, Rambo? What does that make me? 20, so that's 8 years away, 38. Yeah, I wouldn't bet on it.
We heard Moeen Ali, unusual sort of thing, say that he's never been able to hold up an end. When you hear that as a captain, what does that make you think about?
If you're a frontline bowler and you're not holding up an end, hopefully you're taking plenty of wickets. So, it's I guess the art of batting. If you feel like you can just keep the run rate ticking over without giving away your wicket, well, that's an opportunity for the batters.
Yeah, does it make you think? What about playing Moeen Ali from that side?
I don't think it changes how you play. You've seen with our guys. If they sense any opportunity to an attack, especially a spinner, you've seen them be pretty brave at times, and I don't think that'll be any different here.
For all the planning you've done and the philosophy of keep it simple and let's not go away from our plans, do you expect as a captain to have a few moments in this series where you're stood there in the middle thinking, gee, what the heck's going on here? And have you thought about how you might, I know you can't deal with the problem until you have it, but how you might deal with a game that is moving at a different pace? Yeah,
I'm sure there will be. Over 5 test matches, I think there's going to be some moments of tension for everyone, which is exciting. You talk about it, you hopefully have a bit of a plan A, plan B, plan C, and at times you just go on your gut as well. But there's going to be high pressure moments, but you wouldn't want to be anywhere else than out there in the middle of it.
Pat, can you reflect a bit on that period where you and Baz were both at KKR, sort of 2021, when obviously it was his last job before he became coach of England, and you sort of immediately before or either side of becoming captain of Australia, and it seemed that you talked a little, or you had some crossover there in your philosophies, and can you still see that in ways here, even though maybe the teams tactically play a bit differently?
I can. I think the way Baz and I see the game is quite similar, really. It's just a game. It's there to go out there, have fun, give it a crack. But there's no point getting overly nervous or worried about results. And you want to finish your career with no regrets. You want to look back at the big series like an Ashes series and say, oh yeah, I gave that a real decent crack. And I think you've seen that with the group over the last couple of years. A lot of the guys are similar. You've seen the way someone like Trav Head's come along, he goes out there, he plays his way. He's not looking to impress with anything other than just the way he goes about it, which I think is awesome. And yeah, you know, when Baz was at Kolkata, he was very much the same mindset.
Did you, I think what the innings people remember about you during that time, you got 56 or 15 balls or whatever it was. I think it was in the UAE. I think when you played England in that T20 game that you lost, you hit your first ball for 6. Was that sort of buying into that mindset?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, that's probably batting philosophy in T20. Whenever I try to bat properly, I didn't score runs, so I just told myself I was going to try and hit every ball for 6. And yeah, if I got out, the next batter would walk in. So yeah, maybe Baz, that was part of it as well.
And just one on Ben Stokes. He clearly he goes sort of 110% all the time. It's part of his kind of his brand. Whereas sort of feels like you started out as a young fast bowler doing that, and you learned to moderate your game, and that's been part of your success. Do you see a bit of a contrast there?
Maybe. I think you've got to have different gears to, you know, not only get through a game, but we play 100 days of the year. So yeah, there's lots of important games, but there's no point, you know, killing yourself in one game and not playing the other 100. So I always feel like even my bowling probably operate at my best when I'm bowling at kind of 90-95%. You know, anything harder, if I really try and run in bowl fast, maybe my seam isn't as good, maybe I don't swing, you know, the ball as much. So yeah, I feel like I've found a pace that I'm happy playing at pretty much all year round. Sorry, we're just going here. Sorry.
Australia's shown it's the longest anywhere Australia's played. Does that track you? Is England actually the hardest place for Australia to win now? Is that still Indian? Given the differences in context?
Don't know. Yeah, they're both totally different, aren't they? Yeah, I don't know if one's harder than the other, but yeah, they're both just really foreign to what we grow up going, you know, playing in Australia.
Do you sort of hope that, like, everyone talks about the wickets and what type of pitches they're going to be there, as if they're 70 once it's like the fast wickets? Like, do you think that actually negates the away series, you know, disadvantage that Australia has and actually turns into an Australian type series?
I don't know about that. You know, it's still a Duke's ball. Still the overheads come into play. You know, it's still very much conditions that the home country grows up playing their whole life in. Yeah.
Pat, sorry.
Just going back to that, which start on a dry pitch, see a lot.
We'll see.
So, just wondered about the pitch itself. Steve Smith was saying it's quite sort of furry, even though the grass is dead. Does that help the seam grab? Does that still give fast bowlers and even Nathan off the spin an opportunity, even though it's not green?
Can do. Yeah, I think MCG's been a bit like that at different times, where it's like a thick thatch on top. This one's, don't know, again, it's still 2 days out, so we'll see if they thin it out or cut it back a bit. But yeah, at times, even if it's not live grass, it can still kind of seam a bit.
Potentially because of the conditions, wait until match morning to make the final call. Is that in play?
Yeah, I think it's always in play. So again, we haven't sat down. We'll sit down tonight and talk through a few different options and work out a game plan.
Thank you very much.
Thanks all. Cheers. Thanks.